morning, Falcons. It is Wednesday, May the 13th, and welcome to a Falcon Day here at Summit. These are your morning announcements and episode 16 of the Summit Show. Listen up. As we communicated a few weeks ago, the official last day for teaching and learning at Summit is Wednesday, May 20th, just a week from today. Beginning then on Thursday, May 21st, and continuing through Thursday, May 28th, you and your family will need to plan to make time to visit Summit to turn in your laptop, charger, and other school-issued items in your possession. And Summit staff will turn over to you any of your personal items that are still inside the building. This will all be accomplished in a drive-through line on the south side of the building near door 9, the natatorium, and door 11, the band door and carpool drop-off and pickup. Summit's detailed plan was sent via mass email to all parents and guardians on Monday of this week. Please make sure that you review it with your parent or guardian. Okay, today on the Summit Show, we will hear from Ms. Kitaka for some reading suggestions. Then we will visit with Mr. McMurray to see how he finished up his Windsor chair project. Then 7th grade frog student Katie Steinacker will share how she used slime to make cool designs and to relieve stress and relax. And finally, it will be time for the last episode of Summit Pets with Mr. Gator.
Good morning, Falcons. I am coming to you pre-recorded from a very sadly empty Summit Middle School library. It's kind of depressing in here, just because you guys aren't here. So I've been coming in a couple days now that Indiana's stay-at-home order is gradually lifting to get the new books and everything ready for you guys to come back in the fall. So today I'm just going to talk about a book that we just got that was new. I took it home and I can't put it down, and that's why I wanted to tell you guys about it, because I think a lot of you would like it. So the book is called Midnight on Strange Street. Oh, that's super reflective. Midnight on Strange Street. This book is a mix of a sci-fi story and a mystery story, which I know a lot of you like sci-fi and a lot of you like mystery. So it's about 4 kids who discover that they have a secret. And we find out, too, throughout the story that the government also has a secret. It's a little bit of a dystopian setting, not so much as like something like The Hunger Games, but it does take place in a dystopian near future. So this book, I seriously can't put it down. I started reading it last night before I went to bed. I'm on page 202. So this book is really amazing. I'm surprised at how much I love it. I really just picked it up randomly. So check this out if you need something to read. And also, this is random, but I was trying to figure out how to make face masks, and I found this material that looks like the Daily Prophet that I had left over from something, and I thought you guys would enjoy it. So it's, wait, where is he? We got like undesirable number 1, and what is it? What else does it say? There was, oh, you know who's stronger than ever. Like, it's just really cool fabric. So I thought you guys would appreciate it. So stay safe, everyone, and I will see you next week.
Last time I left you on the chair project, we had finished the base. It was all sanded and ready to go. The next thing I do is I insert the stumps that I turned on the lathe into the chair base, and I flip them over and I wedge them from the bottom, similar to how the legs are put into the chair. Once both of these arm posts or stumps are wedged in, I cut them off. I cut off the wedge part on the bottom, not the stumps. Now it's back to these hoops that I bent in the first episode. You can see that the hoop is round, and that's going to be part of the back of the chair, and this flat piece here is going to be the armrest. and I have to drill a series of holes in those. I also need to glue a board onto here, and then I'll use this template that I got out of the book and that I made on plywood. I will then use that to trace and draw a picture of what the handle is going to look like, and I'll cut that out on the saw, and I'll drill holes all through this armrest as well as that hoop. And I need to taper this down to a smaller point to go into the hole that's on this armrest. Here I have the bow ready to be tapered. In the next shot, you'll see that I've glued on the arm piece and cut it out on the saw, and I've also drilled the holes. What I do after that is I begin to assemble the back on the base. You can see here that I'm putting the spindles in. This is the first one, and I just go through a series of spindle after spindle, gluing them into those holes and tapping them in with a hammer until all of the spindles are in place. Once I have the long spindles and the short spindles in, I'll slide the armrest on next, and you'll notice that it has a couple of extra holes, and that's where the bow for the back will go. Like the legs and arm stumps, I have to split the top of the stumps to wedge on the armrest. You tap the wedges in with a hammer and some glue, and you wait for them to dry. Later, I'll saw those off. While the glue is still wet, it's important for me to level that armrest so that it's the same from side to side. And then I use something called a dowel to pin it into the center spindle in the back. Once I have my wedges done and the armrest is solidly on the chair and centered, I put the bow on. You'll notice that the spindles stick way out. I saw those off, and then I take my chisel and I split each one of those spindles, and I hammer a wedge along with glue into each of those. And then it's just a matter of waiting for it to dry. At this point, the chair has dried overnight. All those wedges are glued and they're ready for me to cut them off. And there are quite a few of them for me to cut off. All the short stumps, all the long spindles, and I cut them as close to the wood as I can without scratching up either the bow or the armrest on the chair. Next, I'll take a chisel and I'll pare them as close as I can to the wood, again without scratching it up, and after that I sand. I wet this so that you can see the wedge and the spindle comes through the top of the bow. At this point, the chair is basically done and it's time for a good sanding. Windsor chairs traditionally were painted, and so I decided to paint this one, and I like to make it look antique. So I first paint the chair red, a couple of coats, and then, believe it or not, I paint the chair black, and I sand through that paint in a number of places so that the red will show through the black a little bit. I also add a chemical to help the finish crack. I want it to look old, and I think I accomplished that here. If you take a close look at the arms, you can see the cracks. The last thing I do is I coat the whole chair in a product called tung oil. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it, and I hope you'll get out and do something creative. Remember, you can do anything one step at a time.
Hey Summit, my name's Katie Steiger. I'm on the Frog team, and today I'm going to show you some slime ASMR and some slime bubbles. Enjoy!
thank you, Miss Kataka, Mr. McMurray, Katie Steinacker, and Mr. Gator for the contributions to this episode of the Summit Show. Finally, it is time for the Meaningful May challenge for the day. Today's Meaningful May challenge is: today, do something to care for the natural world. Okay, I hope you've been joining me in following along the calendar that Miss Miller sent out a couple weeks ago in order to make May more meaningful. All right, Falcons, our next school day is tomorrow, Thursday, May 14th, and it will be a green day. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I challenge you to commit to SOAR in all that you do and everywhere you go. Be safe, be organized, be accountable, and be respectful. And let's be happy today and make it a great Thursday. Wednesday.